just the timing of it was kind of, in sync.
Like the band.
Yeah.
Bye.
I was just going to say that.
This week we're drinking more beers from Wisconsin. This is episode 144 of the Malting Hour.
What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's beast. This the Malting Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Malting Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
Brandon. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing all right. I took a little trip yesterday. Took a little psychedelic trip. No, I decided to do a solo day trip up towards Wisconsin. I kind of planned. We didn't have any. There's no plans this weekend, and I haven't had plans. Like, I haven't had a weekend without any plans in a long time. And technically, yes, now I made plans for myself. But, I just wanted to, get out and do something. Take a little road trip. So I decided I would head towards the Mars Cheese Castle and kind of, make my way back from there. And the idea was not to take, any interstates or expressways or anything. So I took roads the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, I take that back. I did hop in the expressway in the beginning because I did not have my timing correct when I was going to go to my first stop, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, good. It opens in a half hour. I'll be there in a half hour. And then I started it, and I was like, oh, I'll be there in an hour. I'm like, I don't want to push this further. I know what Chicago looks like. I don't need to drive up. So yeah, it was good, man. It was nice, and got to see some great places. Great places. I don't know, great. But yeah, so I started off over at Tangled Roots. Where was that in? Where's that Tangled Roots? That is, because they have multiple locations. I was talking Vernon Hills, I was right. So they already have 3 or 4 locations.
Is the original one Ottawa?
I believe so.
Yeah.
They have 2 more opening up this year and 2 more opening next year.
That's insane.
Yeah, I was talking to the server, my bartender. I had some avocado toast there.
Oh,
their brunch menu was looked really good. And had I not had other, or at least another food option that I was gonna do, I was going to I could have stayed there and eaten food and watched the Bears game.
Yeah,
that would have been great. The beer was good. I had a pale ale and a taster of another pale ale. I don't know what that was. Yeah. And then I made my way up to the Brat Stop, which I'd never, driven by so many times. I'd never been to it.
I don't think
before.
I've ever stopped there either.
Pole sausage was fantastic.
Nice.
It's just one big bar.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because I didn't time it correctly. So I had the avocado toast. I'm like, I need to have a base because, I'm probably going to have 3 or 4 beers along this route. And I want to make sure that, not drunk.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah.
As someone from Illinois. So I had water and beer and food at the first stop. Then Brat Stop, I had the Polish. I didn't so like I said, I didn't plan it correctly because Brat Stop, when you're taking roads, is only about 45 minutes away from Tangled Roots. So I just had avocado toast, which had avocado, eggs. It was a big piece of toast.
Yeah.
Everything bagel seasoning on there, some tater tots. So it was decent. It's a decent amount. 45 minutes. Brat Stop. Fuck. So that's all right. I still got it. I got the Polish sausage. I ate the Polish sausage without the bread. I took 2 bites of the bread. The bun seemed like it was pretty just standard, but the Polish sausage was really good. I had some of the fries. The fries were good. Had to have a spotted cow. I only had a 10-ounce pour there and a big old glass of water. And then made my way up to the Mars Cheese Castle where I purchased our very first beer of the trip. I actually purchased 3 of the beers at this trip.
The first one we're drinking?
The first, yeah. So the three out of the 4 beers I purchased at the Mars Cheese Castle. This first one, which is it's in front of me. I had to get it because I'm a Bears fan. Actually, let me pull this up. It is Carry the G Cream Ale, the official beer of Cheesehead TV. It is clearly a Green Bay Packer beer. like is called Carry the G. You know what I mean? Like it's and it is from remind me to bring my glasses next time. I can't find who.
You should leave a pair of readers just sitting right next to the bar.
I should actually. That's a really good idea. Oh, I spelled it wrong. That's why. Carry the G Cream Ale. I found it. It is from Gathering Place Brewing Company.
I've never heard of that.
They are from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
This is the official beer of Cheesehead TV. This wonderfully easy drinking cream ale is the perfect beer for cheering on the green and gold. From tailgate to postgame, you'll always be carrying the G when you get this tall boy in hand. Surprisingly enough, no one I know has ever tried this.
I definitely haven't.
Sucks just like the Packers. Jake, just joking. I'm just joking. What do you think of this one?
I actually like it. It's a solid cream ale. It's really well, like I want to say well balanced, but I'm getting a lot of lager out of this. And then just like a good amount of creaminess that kind of goes with it. I think with some cream ales I've had in the past, they bordered on on like being partially like sweeter. And I think this is just sweet because of, the lager probably and maybe it's a base that they use. I don't know. But I like it. You poured it. It had a fantastic, super white head. And it's very golden. Like
you can see through it,
yeah,
too.
It's a really good, transparent golden color. I mean, the only thing that sucks about it is it's a Green Bay beer.
It literally has something to do with Cheesehead TV, whatever the hell Cheesehead TV is. But I don't know what it is. I'm going to their website right now, and they have like all their other beers, and they just have a specific one that just says "Carry the G," the official beer of Cheesehead TV. God, born out of a phrase uttered by Aaron Rodgers. It means you carry the ideals of your favorite team wherever you go. He would say something stupid like that. I was trying to see if there was more information on the actual beer itself on the website, but there is not. I get the sweetness and creaminess. I definitely think like a cream ale. It's funny, like I don't really relate cream ales to lagers because one's an ale, one's a lager.
Yeah.
But the characteristics of this beer are very similar to a lager like this. I think a lot of that has to do with the hops they use. I'm assuming they probably use maybe some noble hops in this that also, give you the impression or taste of, a cream ale.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, what is Spotted Cow classified as? Is that classified as a cream ale?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's a farmhouse ale, but I feel like some people I've heard call it like a cream ale as well. Like they call it a farmhouse, which is crazy because you wouldn't expect so many people to lose their shit over a farmhouse. But not that those two beers have anything in common, or these two beers have anything in common. But it comes off almost like a easy drinkable lager. It's 5.1% by the way. And in tall boy fashion, I mean, I could easily, drink some of these or throw them at my TV when the Packers beat the Bears.
I mean, it's super easy drinking. I'm already done with it.
If I wasn't talking so much, I also would be done. I saw it. It was comical. I've got Packers friends and Packers family. My family is split down the middle.
So weird.
I know. My father and my sister you guys know, are Packers fans. If you want to send me donations for childhood trauma, please go ahead and email me.
You know what? I'd feel better if they became like Falcons fans.
Now that my sisters, they're both down in Atlanta. Yeah. Well, yeah. They're stuck in their ways where they moved down there. They're 100%. I mean, I went to Green Bay games before I even went to a Bears game. I went to my first Bears game. 2016 maybe was the first Bears game I went to. We were still living in the condo.
Yeah, I've never been to a Packers game. And the last Bears game I went to was, I'm going to say I don't know if it was maybe it was this January or last January.
Wouldn't be in January because we haven't made it to the playoffs in a while.
No, it was like January 1st or 2nd. It was like the last, it was a regular season game. Or no, maybe it wasn't. Because Pat had tickets and there was barely anybody there. But it was in January, and I know it was because I was doing dry January, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be
2 years ago."
Yeah,
it was 2 years ago.
So that was 2 years ago. Yeah.
So I remember that. Yeah, I remember because and I think I was invited as well. I think you invited me, and I was like, I would not have survived. You're a better man than me. I'd have been like, forget it, I'm caving in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink.
Drink a lot of Heineken Zeros that day.
Oh, how did that go?
It was fine.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
Not great. They're not bad.
I mean, it tastes like Heineken to me. Like it's not.
That's what I mean.
Not very far off. So.
Not good.
I don't
not
necessarily
good.
like Heineken. So.
Absolutely. Brandon, how many stupid Packer fans are you giving? I'm joking. How many? How many cheeseheads are you giving this one?
I'm gonna go solid 4.
Yeah, I'm going 4 as well. It's a good beer. Good cream ale.
Yeah.
You know?
Enjoyable.
Yeah. Now, would I go out of my way to go buy this beer if I'm in Wisconsin again? Probably not. There's some other cream ales I would get, but I had to get it for the fact that I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Getting a Packers themed beer as we're in preseason. Actually, Packers played tonight.
Oh yeah,
Bears won yesterday. Bears won all their preseason games. That's pretty good. Pretty happy about that. I know it's only preseason, but still, it's.
Who did they play tonight? The Broncos, I think. Maybe?
Who, the Packers?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, the Packers and Broncos. Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
There you go. Well, look at you knowing football.
I was looking up stuff the other day.
Oh, nice. Cool. Which one you want to go with next year, buddy? I'll tell you this. Well, why don't we do in the order of my trip?
Oh, yeah. That was probably what I was going to say.
Yeah. I'm going to look this one up. Actually, why don't you pour this?
Okay.
And I'll tell everybody. So the next one that we're drinking, also I got at the Mars Cheese. You know, and I like the Mars Cheese Castle. The one thing I didn't do was buy a bunch of Spotted Cow. No, I know I didn't buy that. I'll tell you about that. I didn't buy a bunch of Spotted Cow there just because their new Glarus prices are just ridiculous. And I love going to the Mars Cheese Castle. And I can do it. Thank you. But I did not buy their Spotted Cow because they wanted $40 for the 24 pack of bottles. I ended up stopping at a liquor store or a liquor store that had the 24 pack of cans for like $30.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I love Mars Cheese Castle. Don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, that drives me nuts. And when we were in there, Beck and I were in there in June, and I think it was before we went up to Pat's cabin for the day to hang out, and we were in there, and I went to the bathroom, and we had already put a couple of New Glarus things in the bag or in the cart, and some guy, like Becca came and she goes, some guy just walked up to me and told me, he's like, just put that stuff back and go to Woodman's across the street or something like that. He's like, it's significantly cheaper. And I'm like, no, the point is, like, I don't want to go somewhere else. I'm here, we're buying cheese, and I'm not going to go to make another stop just to get beer. I understand I'm overpaying. I'm dealing with it.
I've accepted it.
Let's move on with our day.
I've accepted my fate.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. I mean, I could have easily got the other. Because I did get it. We do have a New Glarus beer here, and I did see it at the other places. But because that seasonal one or that thumbprint was at Cheese Castle, I bought it there.
Yeah.
And these, I mean, they have a good beer selection. Now, one thing I didn't do, I noticed this last night. This beer that we're about to drink, it's from Raised Grain Brewing Company, and they're in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Waukesha. Kesha's up there. And this is Ruby Rex Imperial Grapefruit IPA. It's 10%. It was canned in May. Okay. So I'm not too worried about it. May seems good. I'll read the description here. And it says, grapefruit adds a fresh squeeze of tangy bitterness to this IPA, a tart freshness that perfectly complements citrusy hop characteristics of the Azaka Idaho 7 and Citra hops. 10%. Smells good.
Yeah.
It smells like a double IPA with some grapefruit on it.
Yeah, I smell the grapefruit. It's very light on the palate, though, I think. For me.
Not for me. That is like a straight up grapefruit beer to me.
Yeah, I don't
know.
I've taken a couple small sips, so.
Yeah, I took it is like, it's more almost like an orange.
Yeah.
Like orange juice.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but there's the bitterness of.
There's definitely citrus there, but I'm not getting as much grapefruit as I am on the nose. I'm getting more. It's very like orange juice-esque to me.
It's
but not bad.
It's juicy.
It's good. I like it.
The bitterness that I'm getting, it's lingering on my tongue. Like if I bit into a grapefruit or some citrus fruit and like got the pith, you know what I mean? And so it has that type of bitterness to it. That being said, not bad, because I'm sure this beer was cold at one point and it was sitting on the shelf at Mars Cheese Castle. And then I kept it cold since about 1 or 2 o'clock yesterday. So it stayed fairly fresh in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I don't get any like off flavors or anything from it, or like old like candied, with like double IPAs we've talked about.
Yeah.
When they sit there for a while, it kind of tastes like just like old sweet candy. And I don't like that. It tastes like caca and it's stinky.
Yeah. Did you say what the ABV is on this?
10%.
10%. Oh, yay.
You're welcome.
It doesn't drink necessarily like a 10%. You said Imperial. The can does say double.
Yeah,
which is,
double Imperial. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what is, now that I think about it, there's like this thick maltiness kind of in the back
There you
end
go. That's the other thing I wanted to say about
that I kind of attribute to these double IPAs or Imperial IPAs. Like the mouthfeel is definitely heavier. It's not light by any means, but it is refreshing. So kudos to them. Like I said, maybe to me the grapefruit has fallen off slightly, but I mean it's still there. It's still very present in the aroma. And I think just with, the age, that grapefruit is mellowed out with a lot of the hop bitterness. So you're getting that bitterness and you're getting that, that lingering, like you were saying, like if you're eating the pith or hitting the pith or whatever.
Let me hit that pith.
Yeah. But yeah, it turns out to be like a really well-balanced beer. So I would be curious to know if there's a significant difference of this like being like super, super fresh versus what are we, like almost 3 months now on it?
Yeah, almost 3, yeah.
So
no, we are 3, yeah, 3 months.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I mean, but that being said, it still holds up as a really, really, really well done beer.
Yeah, I like it. This is, I mean, they have a really solid beer selection over there. Like I walked by the coolers and everything and saw like a handful of beers that maybe I was interested in. And then I forget, at the front of the store, they also had like a bunch of the new Glarus and tucked away, like it's like the left-hand side where you're facing like the exit, like you're getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
Past the cash registers to the left there, I saw like a bunch of new Glarus stuff. So I started walking over there and then noticed there was a whole bunch of other beers just like sitting on the shelf. I'm like, I don't ever remember seeing that. There's some barrel-aged beers that I thought about maybe getting, but I was like, we don't really need another barrel-aged beer. We got time. So yeah, this one stood out. The bright pink can caught my eye. So kudos to the packaging on that. Same thing with the Green Bay Carry the G. That one also caught my eye because of packaging. So, packaging does go a long way. But there were so many options that, and I already picked out a whole bunch of food that I was bringing home.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about some of them right now, actually.
Ooh.
Got some string cheese. Had to get like some string cheese from them. Brought Laura back some smoked string cheese. She's a fan of that. It's too smoky for me. I can't.
I almost bought. We were at the farmer's market today, and there's that cheesemonger that's always there. And Becca was like sort of walking by, and she's usually the one that stops there and was like, "Oh, cheese," and I was like, "What, you don't want cheese?" And she's like, "Well, I'm trying to like cut back on that stuff," and I was like, "But it's cheese."
Trying to cut back on life.
Yeah, so they sell smoked string cheese there too that I've gotten in the past that I really like.
Oh yeah, I think Laura got that as well before.
Yeah. Becca doesn't care for it, so we ended up just getting a big hunk of their apricot brie. Ooh. That is fantastic.
You got any left?
We haven't even opened it yet.
I'll swing by when you guys open that. That sounds really good. I didn't know they did flavored bries. Ooh.
Heck yeah. And they do like a blue cheese brie too.
That's too much for me. But yeah, the apricot one sounds good.
Yeah, that one's fantastic.
I bought this, and I know you can get it at like local places here, but it became a tradition for me to buy this particular cheese at the Mars Cheese Castle. It's a cranberry white cheddar.
Oh yeah.
Love that. Cut that, throw that on some crackers. It's really good. I got some curds for my daughter. If she ever replies to my text messages, she'll get them. If not, I'm cooking up those curds and make a little grilled cheese with that.
Ooh, yeah.
I also got some like spreadable like pub cheese.
Yeah.
I was telling you about that. I tasted it last night, and it tastes like the cheese in the middle of a Ritz cracker, but better.
Ooh.
So very excited about that. Then I got some cooked bratwurst. I got some beef sticks that had sweet whiskey and peppercorn in them. I have not tried that yet.
Okay.
And then I was thinking about saving these the next time you invite me over to grill. I got root beer brats.
Ooh.
Yeah. So a package of 4, and I guess they're infused with root beer, and they'll sound kind of interesting.
Yeah.
A little sweetness to them. I think that's all I ended up getting. Summer sausage. I did get some summer sausage. I'm going to bring that to the warehouse tomorrow. It's a pit smoked summer sausage. Ooh. It's probably best that I don't eat all that processed meat by myself, so I am going to bring that to work.
Smart.
Share with the guys. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish that cheese. I'm going grocery shopping when you and I are done recording.
Nice.
So I'm going to grab some Ritz crackers and make my own little Ritz sandwiches.
That's the way to go, man.
But yeah, it was great. Like I had a great time at the Cheese Castle. I took my time. Like the whole thing about the trip, like I said, like even taking the back roads from the Brat Stop up to Cheese Castle. I mean, you're driving past Granger, but it's a Saturday afternoon. It was beautiful outside, windows open, and it was just like, even though it's an industrial area, it was like peaceful just driving along there and no one being around. It was really nice. Cheese Castle was hopping though. It's
always hopping.
I think if I decide, or when I decide to do this again, I think I might do like a late fall trip.
Yeah.
Kind of do the same thing. I think I might either go the opposite way, like the way that I went up there, like loop around to come back through Wisconsin, like maybe do the trip opposite.
Yeah.
And stop at the Mars Cheese Castle and actually maybe eat there. Because I've never eaten there before.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it?
Yeah, good. Food was good. I can't remember what I may have had a grilled cheese actually, now that I think about it. And it was fantastic. Or somebody that I was with had one, and I shared some of it. But yeah, I've once or twice I've eaten there, and it's solid food.
Well, that's the idea with the Brat Stop. Like it's a big sign that says "Family's welcome."
Yeah.
There's a ton of pinball games there. Old school NBA Jam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they even say on their website, like it's. Some people call it the furthest north suburb of Chicago because people who go there are the Bears fans, Cubs fans, Sox fans, Hawks fans. All like a bunch of Chicago fans, and their thing was like, no matter your walk of life, basically you're welcome and you can come watch sports there. So they had the Bears preseason on, which was cool.
Oh, nice.
So I figured
that's cool.
It'd probably be pretty cool to go up there and watch football. The only problem is staying up there for a whole game, and then you got to drive back.
Yes.
That's a trek. That's a bit of a trek.
Is it really worth it?
Did I really need to go there? Yeah. Like a Saturday, sure. That sounds fine. And I might even like try and venture up a little further north past that next time. So, yeah. So that was that. That was my. I spent too much money there. And I got you, and I forgot to bring it, but I did get you some microwavable Carolina Reaper popcorn.
I'm all about that. Love me some popcorn.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that. They had a barbecue one and then some other like spicy one, but I was like, ooh, Carolina Reaper. I'm like, that's Brandon's.
Yeah, that's up my alley.
I was looking at their jerky too, but I just wasn't. I was in the mood for jerky at that moment.
Yeah,
because I had just had the Polish sausage. Yeah. And I'll tell you, that Polish sausage really was really good. I am looking forward to go back to the Brat Stop and getting some sausage from them. They have a little store as well. I just kind of browsed real quick, looked through.
Okay.
They have a deli, but I was just ready to get to the Mars Cheese Castle. The other thing I was looking to get at the Mars Cheese Castle was they have it on their website, but I didn't see it there, and there was a line for like the bakery, so I didn't ask. Mm-hmm. They have these loaves of bread that have about a quarter pound, or it's got to be a quarter pound, of cheddar cheese in it. So it's like a swirl throughout the entire loaf of bread.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can order it online. It's like 2 for $20. Mm-hmm. I'd freeze one of those loaves. But I was like, man, what a great like grilled cheese or egg sandwich, like a breakfast sandwich on that. Heck yeah. French, like a savory French toast.
Ooh.
Maybe use like some spicy honey or something. Put some chicken on there. I'm not even hungry, and that's making me hungry.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. So that's that part of the trip. Brandon, how many grapefruity cheese castles are you giving this?
I think I'm going to go like 4-1, 4-2.
Yeah, I'm with you again, buddy. I'm going 4-1 on this. I like it. It's I can do a full one. I can do a full one of these.
Yeah.
I like
just one.
Yeah, exactly, just one. 10%. That's. I mean, we've had 10% beers, but when it comes to like IPAs and stuff, that are 10%. You don't really want your IPA to warm up, so it's kind of tough. Now, granted, I did have a double IPA on this trip, but I'll get to that in the second half of this episode. Yeah, so I didn't drink anything at the Mars Cheese Castle. At this point, I've had 2 beers and a taster, the toast, the tots, the brat, and some fries. There's no more food involved, but there's 2 more beers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, living life on the edge right now. What can I say? I'm sure we're around that time. Probably a little early, but I think it's a good time to hear an ad from one of our non-sponsors.
And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. You know what I decided we're going to title this episode? Yes, another Wisconsin beer episode. Yeah. Or another Wisconsin beer episode.
But then there's a lot of beer in Wisconsin that we haven't hit. So,
absolutely. And, it's nice to, we love our local beer, but it's nice to try some new beers. Like, I really do look forward to going up to Wisconsin and trying different beers that, we don't get in Chicago. Now, one of those beers that we for sure do not get in Chicago, and we'll probably never get in Chicago, is New Glarus. And you know that we had to do a New Glarus episode. Brandon, what are we drinking?
We are drinking New Glarus Brewing's Imperial Raddler. That was the same reaction I had, which is a part of their thumbprint series. And before I get into the description, so Tony and I both had the same reaction. And it's not a bad reaction, but we've had Raddlers before, and you know what to expect with a Raddler. This one is like Raddler with a kick. We talked about the beer we had previously, that Ruby Rex. That one's thick, heavier body, nice, thicker mouthfeel. You don't expect that with a Raddler. So you've got all of that intensity of a Raddler with all of that, that thickness of an Imperial beer, and it was just like pop.
Yeah. I just took it we let it warm up, unfortunately, and I think this is I don't know if I'm gonna drink another one of these later. I might. I'll save you another one if you'd like. Yeah. I feel like this really cold might be really good.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So, anyways, continuing on to read what the can says. This mighty citrus flex is powered by 8.5% ABV. Brewmaster Dan harnessed a fierce grapefruit tropic blast with his own proprietary Pilsner malt. Wisconsin, Yakima, and New Zealand experimental hops conspire to push back into perfect balance the brute force of this Imperial Raddler, a brawny brew, to quench a powerful thirst.
Oh, jeez, he's dying over there.
This is a lot of carbonation I've had.
Yeah.
We're really drinking water all morning.
We're really going through this. Before we talk anything more about this, our old friend Joe J. Joe. Joe had this. He had this a couple weeks ago. I'm going to read his description or his check-in on this. Yeah. So, Joe, you're on the show. Lemon and citrus aroma with hint of squirt. He's not wrong on that. Yeah. Tons of grapefruit pithiness up front in the taste, followed by a light bitterness and sharp booziness. Can share with the wife.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. I'll definitely give you another can to share.
Yeah, Becca might like this. Yeah. But that description of squirt was spot on.
Oh, man, absolutely.
I was trying to think of this is the grapefruit flavor that I was expecting in the other beer.
Yeah, this is I don't even know how to finish that sentence. Absolutely.
Words!
I would say absolutely. I like this a lot. Mm-hmm. This is really good. The other one they had of their Thumbprint series was a milk stout.
Okay.
I did not grab that. I'm not ready for stouts yet. Plus, like I said, I might go back up in September, maybe October, and see what's up there. September probably not because of Riot Fest and the rest of from starting my next paycheck until Riot Fest, I'm spending no money. I'm just
gotta pay back the Mars Cheese Castle.
Gotta pay back the Mars Cheese Castle. I also bought a bunch of records recently. I just gotta paid for the flight that we're going. Oh yeah, that's everybody. We are going to Great American Beer Fest.
We are confirmed.
We are confirmed. We have our media passes. We're gonna try and get some interviews set up. Hopefully, we'll see what that is. But yeah, we're very excited to be going back. So that'll be cool. But yeah, this beer is. Oh, what I was saying was that like going back up, I'm looking forward to like other thumbprint beers. I feel like around that time too, might dip into some like fall flavors too. So that'll be fun. Like I think going up in October might be my best bet.
And what was, dude? I still remember when we went up for the Beer Bacon Festival, and we grabbed that experimental beer.
There was 2 experimental beers, wasn't there?
The one we did on the show.
There was a barrel-aged one.
Yeah. I think that's the one we did in the hotel room. Right. I thought that one was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was really good. For not having a lot of barrel-aged beers, that was a great barrel-aged beer. You know what? I fucking just want to go back to the new Glarus, really.
Yeah.
And then we could stay at that hotel.
Oh, yeah.
By that bar.
Exactly.
Where they had that delicious bourbon that we drank.
Oh, yeah.
It was only $90 a pour.
Oh, and that was in Madison.
Yeah, that was in Madison. That was a little bit further out. It was a fun trip.
I was like, did we Uber? Yeah, we did Uber.
Oh, yeah, we Ubered. Yeah. We for sure Ubered.
Smartly.
Yeah, and that little restaurant barbecue place was delicious.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
We have like brisket nachos.
Liberty Station? Or
yeah, Liberty Station, yeah. The hotel was nice too. I mean, that was a fun.
I was trying to think of it, I was like, just think of America. Like, oh yeah, Liberty Station maybe. Like, yeah.
That was a fun time. Oh, and then we ordered some Domino's later.
We're dumb.
Yeah, we are. Anyways, back to this beer. Wow, you're almost done. You're really knocking that one out.
Oh yeah,
I'm doing a lot of talking on this episode. Sorry. Yeah,
well, it's your episode.
Oh, thank you very much.
You went on this extravaganza.
Little excursion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like this. This is really tasty.
I would definitely get this again if I see it, if I'm ever across the Golden border.
You pick a weekend. I'll drive up there with you. We don't even need to take the scenic route. We'll just hop on the expressway. And gas was cheaper up there too.
Oh yeah, of course.
That was so fantastic. I had 115 miles total is what my trip took me, so it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Overall, I would say that this beer, it's fun that it's Imperial. That it's a big like it's
different.
Yeah, it's a fun way to have this beer. I would like to have this non-Imperial too. Like, just as a simple Raddler from them, because I feel like it would have, like, just so that I could have more of them. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I feel like you'd probably get even more grapefruit, because what I feel is taming the grapefruit on this is that just that heavy maltiness that's coming through. That's definitely knocking it down. I think the hops I don't know much about like the Wisconsin hops.
I was listening to some of it.
New Zealand experimental, so I don't know which ones specifically they used.
Yeah, and those are normally lend themselves to be like more fruity and
so I mean those complement the beer really well. So just having this beer, with probably a smaller malt bill and like just a 5%er, would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd be curious to see, like,
4%.
I want to go back and look through, like, any of their beers and see if they've done just a regular Raddler. Because I feel like they have.
I'm sure they have.
Like, you don't just do a Raddler for the first time and you're like, let's fuck shit up. Like, let's go for an experiment. But,
hey, man, that's how I used to homebrew.
But apparently, I mean, that's kind of what Dan does when he brews is, like, just, like, hey, man.
Dan Blythe? You talking about my friend Dan Blythe?
I just had this image of Dan making beers, like
drinking Bud Lights.
Yeah, like, wasn't he the one that was like, "Could you make a marijuana beer?"
yeah. So he's getting high and fucking brew. Actually, Dan on a brew day would be good.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, man. I dropped my roach into the wart. All right,
roach
that
work.
Smoked.
Dan, I love you. I know you never listen to this show. My phone's vibrating. I apologize. Yeah, so overall, Brandon, how many Raddlers are you giving this Imperial Raddler?
I'm going 4.5.
4.4 for me. Yeah, this is fantastic. I really like this. I'll save one for you. I probably won't drink another one. Maybe I'll the other 3 that I have left. Mm-hmm. I'll bring over some of those root beer brats one day, or one weekend, or one weeknight or something. You want to grill? I'll bring the brats. I'll bring some of these Raddlers. We'll do like a summertime grilling day.
Yeah. And just like to the point of like the Thumbprint beers, I don't feel like I've ever had one of their Thumbprint beers that I didn't like thoroughly enjoy.
That's kind of why I wish I got the stout.
Yeah, just to have it, even if we didn't drink it right away. But
I mean, it's not saying I couldn't go back up Saturday.
No, and yeah, make it every week. Just make this pilgrimage.
Later's bank account.
I don't. Well, I feel like that might last a little bit into the fall. Like that one's going to be around, I would think.
Well, that's why even if I got it now, I could just hold on to it. Like I should have just got it. I should have just got it. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I think the first Thumbprint I had from New Glarus was like it was like a triple IPA or Scream.
The other one they had was strawberry rhubarb.
Oh yeah,
I mean that one's fantastic. Yeah. But I still have Wisconsin Belgian Red. That's the first time I didn't buy Wisconsin Belgian Red.
Yeah, I
still have one left in my refrigerator.
Well, and you know this, like when we went in June to the castle, we didn't have. I didn't grab rhubarb. I didn't grab Belgian Red. We grabbed the watermelon.
Yeah, that was good. I saw those too. I almost thought about grabbing some of those.
Yeah, it's literally like
I thought about it and then didn't do it.
Watermelon seltzer.
Yeah, which I should have grabbed.
That was really fucking good. Yeah, well, you would like it because have you had it?
No.
Oh, you can have one if you want. I got one for you.
Thanks, man.
I'll give you one.
Thanks.
Becca won't mind.
Thanks, Becca.
She already forgets that they're here, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Scream was like the first one, and I thought that was fantastic.
Is that a triple or double IPA?
I think it's a triple.
I think so too.
And then just that when we were talking about the Belgian Red, it's so reminds me. I still got that big bomber from like 2016 or 2017.
Yeah,
in there.
We should do that for an after final pour one night. That would be fun because that actually. The two of us could finish that without being like feeling well. Depending on the episode, we have to save it for like a light episode.
Yeah,
we're just drinking lagers beforehand because
exactly.
it's liquid Jolly Rancher. It's so good. I love that beer. I try describing it to my coworkers. Like I know you guys don't like fruited beers or anything, but like it's like a liquid Jolly Rancher that has a nice tartness to it.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's
fantastic.
I might add my last one tonight. It's from February. It's been sitting in the fridge.
Well, and it's gonna taste fantastic.
It will. Yes, it will. All right. So real quick, before we go on to the last beer, I'm going to talk about the other stops I did.
Yeah.
From the Cheese Castle, I swiftly drove over to Rustic Road Brewing, also in Kenosha. It's like 15 miles east, or at least 15 minutes east. It was a cool spot. Like it looked like a small town, Kenosha. So I don't know if that's like a little shopping area, like a downtown area, not far from the lake. And Rustic Road was real cool. They had a nice outdoor patio. When I got in there, they were showing the Cubs game. So that was kind of cool.
Ooh.
A lot of people in there. And I just kind of like sat down. And then after sitting there for like 5 minutes, I looked up and then saw a sign that said order here at the bar. So I was kind of like, why didn't anybody tell me? Like I'm clearly sitting at this table.
Yeah.
And so I went with a double IPA from them. You would have liked it. It was very malty. Like it was like almost amber color. It was very good. I was like, you know what? I was feeling good at that point because now I'd like had 2 beers, water, all that food, everything soaked
Way
up.
too much food.
Why don't I just wreck it all and have a double IPA? And it was good. I wanted to try something else. They had some other beers there. They had a hazelnut beer and an Oktoberfest. I didn't really want to get a hazelnut beer to bring back. I'm not a huge fan of hazelnuts.
What style?
I think it was a brown ale.
Okay.
Which I'm sure would have been great, and I love brown ales. I just wasn't feeling it. And then the other they had were like giant crawlers, and I didn't want to grab one of those either because I didn't want to open up a crawler for the podcast.
Yeah.
I figured that's
a big adventure.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it was a beer like that we really like, because it's like, well, now we got to drink 32 ounces of beer on top of the other 3 beers that we're drinking. And look, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm trying to enjoy myself. Not enjoy myself. And then from there, I swung by a liquor store, and I got myself a case of Spotted Cow. I did have a Spotted Cow last night. Still fantastic. It was delicious. And then I ended up at what we're about to drink now.
Ooh.
Which is, and Brandon, thank you. When I was texting you, you had corrected me because it didn't make sense where I was saying I was at, because why the hell would I be all the way out in Vernon Hills? But I went to the Harbor Brewing Company, and that is in, did I tell you where that was at? Was it like Winthrop?
Winthrop Harbor.
Winthrop Harbor, Illinois. And that was weird because it's like pulling up. There's signs at like Yacht Club, and I was like, the fuck? I am driving to a yacht club right now. And literally, you pull up. There's a little sign that says Harbor Brewing Company, and it's very small. It's inside like the like. You walk in because you can just go there and like hang out, but it was like the information area, and then off to the side, here's a little brewery with like, there was 2 like video betting machines or whatever out there. But they had a ton of beers on tap, and they had some beers to go. They were limited because they said that like they had like, during the week, they sold through a bunch of their 4-packs and 6-packs, and the night before, like a couple other kegs like tapped and shit. So I ended up having a hazy IPA from them, which was my favorite beer of the trip. It had grapefruit and guava in it. It was a very grapefruity trip. It was a very summer trip.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious. And then I had a small taster of their lager, which was fantastic. So those beers were really good. And then she let me have a little taste of because the 2 beers they had to go were 2 sour beers. Their Bomb Pop sour, which I got a taster of, which it was okay. It did not taste like a Bomb Pop. Mm-hmm. And seeing the beer that's poured in front of me, what's the name of this beer?
Cherries and Berries.
I have a feeling that she may have poured me this, because I was like, that's a lot of berry flavor. I'm like, sounds good. I'll know once we taste this. But Brandon, why don't you read about this beer?
So Cherries and Berries, Prism Series Fruited Sour Ale. Prism is our sour Visier fermented sour beer series. This installment is loaded with cherries, raspberries, blueberries, and lemons. This sounds kind of like it would be a Bomb Pop.
It does. It smells like a fucking Bomb Pop.
It tastes like a Bomb Pop. That woman does not know what she's doing.
All right. I think there's a little bit of confusion that maybe the cherries and berries is supposed to taste like a Bomb Pop, and then there was something else. That's fucking delicious.
Yeah. Side note. Yeah. If you would have followed to the yacht club, that's where our boat is.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. Did you ever go to Harbor Brewing?
No.
Oh man. Well, I recommend it. It's good. And when I got there, there was some kid's birthday party. It looked like it just ended because someone was there like picking up balloons and shit, and like something was catered. But they had a tent and like benches out there, and then there was a stage that was being set up with like speakers. But while I was there was an older guy there playing guitar, singing Johnny Cash. So I just sat out there and got to look out over the lake. And I was on my phone at one point, and I'm like, dude, I was texting and
get in the moment.
Yeah, I was like, you're out here you're actually outside. You're not sitting in a brewery. And I did. And I just sat there, and it was awesome looking out on the lake. Didn't really love the smell coming off the lake. That's fine. It's Lake Michigan. Sometimes you don't get the best smells. It wasn't terrible, but yeah, it was nice. Like, I really liked it. The staff was really nice, and it seemed like I almost thought about sitting inside because it was nice and cool in there. It wasn't a hot day yesterday, but it was cool inside, and I probably would have sat there and maybe drank more than I should have because I felt like there wasn't a lot of people in there, and I probably would have talked to the people that were there and just been too friendly, and all of a sudden like, oh no. How do I get home? Yeah,
so from what I know of Harbor Brewing, I believe that was their original location.
Okay.
They opened up there. Then their second location is actually in Lake Villa.
That's the one that I kept saying. Which I
wasn't. So I've been to the Lake Villa location. I did that once because my dad's got his house out in Antioch. And
Antioch's not too far from there, right?
No. And I think it was a Pier Day, so it was like in
Pier Day.
I think it was May last year, and I was just coming back, and I was like, I hadn't eaten, so I took a quick detour, and I stopped there because I think I stopped there, and then I stopped at Timothy O'Toole's. I think is also in Lake Villa, or they got one in the area around there. So I stopped there and I had food, but I stopped in and I just had a beer at Harbor Brewing. I don't remember what I had, but I remember it being good. So
yeah, this is I'm always on the fence when it comes to sours. Mm-hmm. I feel like, at least being someone from Chicago, and we are very lucky to have very good, we've said this many times, we have very good breweries here. We have very good barrel-aged beers. We have very good hazy IPAs. We have very good regular IPAs. We have very good lagers, German styles. We also have really good sour beers, and just...
We're spoiled.
We are. We really are. Like Old Irving does great kettle sours. Revolution has great sour beer. I mean, everybody, any local brewery that I've had a sour beer from, I don't know of one where I've been like, ooh, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
This is too much. It's always like just enough. This tastes like something that old Irving would have made almost.
Oh yeah.
Like it's along the Cushy series. There it is. There's our old Irving drop for this episode. Fuck.
You're welcome, Matthew. But yeah, this is fantastic.
That lemon at the end is really what rounds this out.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was going to be my favorite beer of the episode, but this might be my favorite beer of the episode. This is just delicious.
And it's 5.5%.
Yeah, I could have 2 of these for sure in the 16-ounce can.
Oh, indeed. It's super, super, like, it's bordered on the line of, like, if they made a slushy out of this, that would be fantastic.
Dude. Actually, I would drink this as like one of those like slushy beers.
Yeah.
Like not a slushy beer, but like an actual frozen
because
beer.
There's not... It's a thicker mouthfeel for being 5.5%, but I feel like there's like fruit in there. Like there's definitely... This is like this is a can that I feel like could spontaneously re-ferment and like just explode.
Does it say anything about that on there? Like keep cold all the time? Because it's not thick though. Like it's not thick like there's a puree.
No. But it feels. It almost feels like if you're drinking orange juice, like with the pulp.
Yeah, the thickness of it.
Yeah.
But that lemon in there really is like.
But I swear I'm seeing like. Fruit skins, like very tiny specks of like fruit in there.
And it's a possibility. I mean, not really sure how this beer is made, but man.
And if you look at the bottom of the can, it's just like little flecks all throughout the can. Like
could be.
Yeah. So
this is highly refreshing, though. I really enjoy this. By the way, did you end up drinking that blackberry lemonade from Revolution yet?
No.
Stupid ass.
Saving that for Becca.
Well. Becca forgets that it's there, so you need to tell her.
Yeah, she did forget that it was there.
Yeah, I figured you did.
She had last weekend. I had her try something Matthew brought. I forgot it was. It was another one of the Cushy beers. And
oh yeah, what did he bring that time?
When we barbecued, and it was sitting in the fridge, and I was like, we went to the block party down the street, and I was like, try this, or you should drink this, and she's like, okay. She had it. She's like, oh, it's a Cushy. I love these. And I forget what it was, but yeah, she loves anything from the Cushy series.
Matthew, this is directed towards you because we know you listen. When's Blueberry Cushy coming back? Like, is that on the schedule? I just need to know. So we look forward to your text.
Was that Cushy Blue? Is that what it was?
Something like that, yeah. But the Blueberry Cushy is just, oh man, it's so good because it's not like, it's the least tart of the Cushies, but it has so much flavor in it, and there's a right amount of tartness to it. Like, I love it.
Because I feel like Cushy Blue was a blueberry, and I'm sure we'll get a text.
I think it is Cushy Blue,
but no, but
we're right. We're right.
No. The next thing I'm going to say is because the last time I remember, like there was a release of it. It was around the beginning of baseball. Okay, and they made a reference to the Cubs and something like, "Oh, it's our Cushy Blue, like the start of baseball and the Cubs." And I was like, I don't think they were necessarily saying this was like their baseball beer or whatever, but it was like just the timing of it was kind of, in sync.
Like the band.
Yeah.
Bye.
I was just going to say that. But regardless, back to this beer.
Yeah.
This one definitely has that bomb pop flavor.
Yeah.
I wish I was there with you and like.
Because I think maybe there was a bit of maybe. This berry one is supposed to taste like a bomb pop, while the other one was some type of berry one. Because the other one was really good and it tasted like berries, and I liked it. I don't think that the beers are different, but I think this is supposed to this has like a bomb pop flavor.
Well, yeah, and it's got like literally all of the flavors of a bomb pop, like cherry, and I think we looked it up. It was like blue raspberry because we had a bomb pop beer,
right?
Oh, when we did the hard tea,
yeah. Because
it was blue raspberry and I think lemon. And then that's
a bomb pop. And it just burped right now. It tastes like I just ate a bomb pop.
Yeah. We fucked up because we said next time we do something like that, we got to have bomb pops.
Well, I will say, okay, look, I'm building a barbecue over here at your house right now, okay? I'll save one of these. For dessert, we'll have bomb pops. And we'll have this as well.
Bomb pops and beers.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like this.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, overall, Brandon, how many fireworks How many fireworks are you giving this? Well, no, that's stupid. How many boats are you giving this?
I'm gonna go like 4.6.
I'm going 4.75.
Yeah. I was gonna do 4.75, but I was like,
No, this is up there, dude. I'll tell you this. This is on my Maltese list, and you can make a note of that. I've not said that a lot this year. I've not said that a lot this year.
I don't remember. Do I have a sheet run for this year?
You might not, because I don't think I've said that about many beers, but this is up there, man. And that's, I gotta say that it's funny, because when I was plotting out this trip, I bounced around different ideas, like where am I gonna go, like where do I want to stop at, and this one almost I didn't go, because I was like, I don't know, maybe by that time, like, I'll just want to go home. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I didn't, because my two favorite beers out of this very small room of a brewery, or tap room, I should say, had two of my favorite beers that I've had on this trip. Like, Rustic Road wasn't bad. If someone else was with me, I probably would have not had the double IPA and had like maybe 2 beers there instead.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, this place is cool. I think I'm just going to have a double IPA. Plus I was kind of like, I wasn't pissed, but I was like, what the fuck did anybody tell me to go up and order? Like, I'm sitting here. I sat there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, no one's coming here. And like, oh, order here. And it's not big. Like I should have noticed, but it's fine, whatever. But Rustic Road was good. I wouldn't mind trying some of their other stuff. I think they had a peanut butter porter as well. That would have been nice to try, but while it was nice outside, it wasn't cool enough to be like, I want a peanut butter porter and then drive home. Now, the other stop I was going to do was Unani on the way home. But after I got in the car from Harbor Freight and having Harbor Brewing, drinking that hazy and that lager, I was like, no, that's enough. I'm fine. I want to go home. I want to get home and relax and take a nap.
Still missing the Unani.
Yeah, dude, that was my last. I was like, because I figured, I'm like, I'll have dinner there. I'll go there and have dinner.
Yeah.
I was not hungry. I was full. Like my calorie intake for yesterday was pretty. It wasn't terrible, but it was up there. And so,
see, and it's funny because that's like we were going to record last night, and I remember I hadn't heard from you. Because I told you we were going to be home around 7, and it was like we got home like just after 7, and it was like 7:40 or something.
Oh, I had fallen asleep.
Yeah,
and woke up to your text.
Yeah, because I was like getting ready to put Benjamin to bed, and I was like, I wonder if Tony still wants to record. And I sent you the text, and I didn't hear back right away. And they were like, yeah, if you want to. And I was like, or we could do it. I'm like, and I was like laying there, and like I had 2 beers. We went to a friend's house. We had a play date for Benjamin. And they are, I know, the father of Benjamin's playdate, he's really into craft beer and stuff like that. And like, they live not so far from like, Hot Butcher.
Oh, nice.
And he was like, we got there and like Becca and I talked about this, like before we left, we were like, she's like, I don't want to like go crazy. Like, let's not drink a lot. And I was like, I'm probably not going to drink at all. Like, whatever. Like, because Tony and I are going to record. And we got there, and he was like, "Oh, I've got this, and this, and this. Like, you want to try something?" And I was like, "I'll have one."
Yeah. I mean, when someone's got something like, excited. I mean, that's the fun thing about like craft beer is that like if you have a bunch of random beers or like someone's coming by or you're hanging out with people and you're not just like, oh, here's a Bud Light. Not knocking Bud Light, but like, what Bud Light tastes like.
Yeah.
But if someone's offering you a beer, it's like, oh yeah, I got this. And it's like, oh, well, you actually have some thought into like, you're excited to share these beers. Like I'll have it with you.
So what I had, I only checked in the one. It was Rawakamania.
Yeah, that's
from Hot Butcher.
It's a great one.
I hadn't had that before. And then the other one was it was a fruited sour, and I might have been from it wasn't from Microphone because he tried to ask me if I wanted to try like the Slick Pickle beer, and I was. He's like, I've got a really good like deal. So he's like, I'm not a fan of it, but like, yeah, if you want it, like, and I was like, I don't want to drink 16 ounces of this, man.
Yeah.
I said, so I'm good. And then he came out and he showed me another one. I was like, oh, that looks good. And then sure enough, he cracked it open and poured it. And I was like, all right, I'll drink it. And then I was like, I got home. I was like, I just felt full and bloated and like,
Do you have good food? Did you guys eat over there too?
We had pizza, and they had like a charcuterie board, and
That'll do it, man.
but like when I was
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you go to a charcuterie board?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. I don't know how to say it.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, whatever.
I think
Charcuterie board.
charcuterie board's way cooler though.
Charcuterie. I don't know.
Charcuterie. That's great. Well,
Words are hard.
Well, hey, I can't pronounce cities in Wisconsin apparently. Waukesha.
But yeah, so yeah, like when I was putting him down, and like we've got his room automatically plays Somewhere Over the Rainbow at night. Starts at like 7:00, and it literally plays throughout the entire night because he loves that song. It's either that or I'll change the automatic song and I'll put on Us and Them by Pink Floyd. But anyways, Somewhere Where the Rainbow was playing, and I was falling asleep, and my head started hurting, and I was like, oh, we should do this tomorrow. Like,
yeah, that worked out great. Because then I ended up sleeping until I saw your text, and I was like, all right, cool. I got up, and I forgot I had like some Jay's smoking barbecue potato chips. I'm like, I have some of those. Ate a couple of those. I'm like, I don't need any more of these. I'm not hungry. That's just my body. Be like, dude, you're tired. And so I laid back down, and I think I slept until about 9:30. To which then I woke up, started doing music stuff, and before I knew it, it was 3:00. I'm gonna regret hitting the microphone like that, by the way. Yeah, it was 3:00 in the morning, and I went to sleep and had to get up early today, and I feel like I've already like had a full day today.
Yeah,
it's been a long day for me.
Yeah, like even last night we ended up just I came down, we watched a movie, and then like we were sitting there, I was like, you gonna go up? She's like, yeah. So I went up, got in bed, and I have this habit of like trying to wait for my wife to come up to bed, and then like we'll say goodnight and then roll over and fall asleep. But she takes her time, and it was about an hour, and I was like, gosh. And I was scrolling on my phone, and then I looked at the time. I was like, oh man, it's like 11:30, and like it came up at like 10:30. I was like, you okay? And then like a half hour later, I got a response. She's like, yeah, sorry, I'll be up in a little bit. And then I was like scrolling my phone, thinking a little bit. 20 minutes or 30 minutes later, she came up, and I had at one point was starting to fall asleep. I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait up for her to say goodnight. And then like she came up, we said goodnight, and then I couldn't fall back asleep. So it was like after 1:00, I was just like doom scrolling on my phone, like
the worst.
And I even put it down, and I was like trying to fall asleep, and then my brain was racing, and I was like, I gotta go back to my phone. Like,
I've done that before.
And I'm like just sitting here playing stupid games on my phone, and like
there's those times where like if I stay up late, if I go out Saturday night, and then my body's like, yeah, dude, you're gonna sleep now. And I've told you this before. There's been times where like I woke up, I'm like, oh my god, it's noon. I can't believe I woke up and it's noon. Like I rarely do that. And when I do it, it sucks because it throws off the rest of my day.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's Sunday night, and I'm trying to go to sleep, and I can't go to sleep.
Yeah.
And like I'm forcing myself to go to sleep. I didn't have any drinks or anything. I'm just like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Before you know it, it's like 3:00 in the morning. And then I finally fall asleep, and it's like, oh, great, it's 6. Time to start the day. That's a great way to fuck up the week.
What you need to start doing is you take like 5 milligrams of melatonin, you lay down, and you get sexy with yourself and see if you can beat the melatonin before you fall asleep. I've never done that before in my life, ever. I think that's actually from a movie they were talking about. Like,
yeah, but it's not melatonin; it's something else. Of like trying to go to sleep.
Yeah,
you try to jerk off before.
Well, no, that's what it was. You take 5 melatonin, and then you go lay in bed and jerk off, and then see if you can finish before the melatonin kicks in.
I hope no one's kids are listening to this one.
Yeah. Well, I know it's from a movie.
Yeah.
I will find the reference.
Or Matthew will text it to us.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he knows everything.
Brandon, if you're going to rank all these... Wait, we did you already? Okay, Brandon, if you're going to rank all these beers in order, what's it going to be, baby?
Oh, man. So I think I'm actually going to go cherries and berries first. What was the other one? Oh, yeah. I'm going to go the new Glarus second, the Ruby, and then the Green Bay.
I am almost the same.
I might switch the Ruby and the Green Bay.
That's what I'm switching.
Yeah.
I'm doing the cherries and berries, the new Glarus, the Green Bay, and the Ruby. Now, With that being said, that's not a knock on the Ruby or the Cream Ale.
No,
just where they landed for my taste right now. Like, you put any of these beers in front of me, I'm drinking them.
Yeah, I'm in the same wheelhouse. The only thing, like I said, like before you even spoke, when I was saying I'd switch the Ruby because the Ruby didn't have everything that I was like. It didn't have enough of that grapefruit to like give me what I wanted.
And I felt like it had a good amount of grapefruit, but I just feel that the Cream Ale was just a better beer.
And I'm not saying so with the Ruby. It was, for me, I was getting a lot more citrus than grapefruit. But then going into like the new Glarus beer and how much grapefruit came through in there.
Yeah.
That's what I would have wanted, like more of that like clean grapefruit flavor.
I'm going to be honest. I wish I had more of that cherries and berries right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would drink more of that right here, right now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm going to go home, grab it, come back, and we'll keep talking.
Okay. Keep the timer going.
Yeah. So overall, there it is. Yes, another Wisconsin beer episode. I had a great time, and I recommend it to anybody. If you get a chance to just, be by yourself, you want to take a little road trip, or if you want to go with someone you love or someone you hate, go and do that as well. It's nice to get out there, man. There's a whole lot out there. If you got the time to do it, do it. I recommend it. Very fun. Looking forward to doing it again sometime.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll join you.
Yeah, maybe. Brandon, I love you, buddy.
Sure you do.
We'll see everybody next week.
Bye.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.